Assalamualaikum story timers and welcome back. We are here with a new story time today and I hope all of you are having such a wonderful day and ready to listen and continue our story all about prophethood inshallah. So, do you guys remember what we talked about for prophethood last week? I hope you guys remember. You can go back and listen to it if you forgot. But we spoke all about prophethood and the people of Ad. So prophethood was actually from among the early Arabs from Oman and Yemen area. And the people of Ad were famous, rich people or rich tribe that came from that area as well. And prophethood was actually a very respected member of the most high political people in among the tribe of Ad, and he spoke Arabic. And the people of Ad were very successful. They used to build amazing big buildings from caves and clay. And they were some of the first people to trade really amazing architecture and things that you could put around your house. However, because of this success, they became very arrogant and turned away from the way of Allah. A'udhu billah. They started to believe that their ancestors were the ones that gave them this success. They thought that they got their success because of their grandfathers and not because of Allah. And of course, that is a big problem because success comes from Allah alone. Allah told us to worship Him alone. And if we do not, it will make Allah very angry with us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent prophethood to remind the people and bring them back to the worship of Allah. They wanted to worship idols, but prophethood advised them to stop worshiping idols and to fear Allah and to be humble and worship Allah alone. Let's see now how the people responded and what else did prophethood tell his people. Do you think that prophethood was able to convince his people to stop worshiping idols? What do you think is about to happen next? Let's go ahead and get started and see what happens. All right. So prophethood continued to try to advise his people not to worship Allah. Astaghfirullah, not to worship idols, but to worship Allah. Allah the Almighty says in the Quran, and to the Ad people, we sent their brother Hud. So Hud was from the people of Ad. And he said to them, O my people, worship Allah alone. There is no God except Allah. And what you are doing is not only horrible, but it's a lie against Allah. You are telling lies because you know that there is no God except Allah. Oh, my people, I ask of you for no reward. So Hud was reminding the people of Ad that he wasn't after their money. They accused him, saying that he wanted status. He wanted to be known as someone who was wealthy and rich. But Prophet Hud reminded the people that he didn't want a reward. He wasn't just saying that for the money or to become famous. He was saying it because he sincerely believed in Allah and wanted his people to repent. He reminded them that everything that they got came from Allah. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bring the success that they have. Just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings down the rain that fertilizes the soil and gives us all of the fruit and beautiful gardens and plants and flowers that we love so much. We have to turn back to Allah and thank Him in thankfulness and forgiveness for all of the things that we do wrong, and only Allah can forgive us. But after saying such beautiful words, the people of Ad were still arrogant and angry at Hud, and they shouted at him, saying really bad words and responding in a very bad way. They say, "Oh, Hud, you don't have any evidence. What's your proof that we shouldn't worship other gods? We think that other gods is better than your God." A'udhu billah. Allah, the Prophet Hud responded, "Allah, I call Allah as a witness, and I bear witness that I am free from all that you are saying. I put my trust in Allah, and Allah will protect me." So Prophet Hud responded that he worshipped only Allah alone, and he knows that Allah is better for him than anything else, and only Allah can protect him. Even after they said all those bad and evil words, Prophet Hud did not respond to that. He just said, "I fear Allah, and I have nothing to do with those bad words that you're saying. I am going to trust in Allah, and Allah is going to give us more success than the bad things that you are saying." Then, after that, Prophet Hud continued to advise them. He didn't shout back at them. He reminded them that all that they did would lead them up to the day of judgment, where they will be judged for both the wrongdoing and the good that they would have done. If they do bad, then they will be punished. And if they do good, then Allah will reward them. But Allah never likes injustice. Allah is just, and He expects us to also be just. So injustice or being unfair to people will never be rewarded. And that is something for us all to remember. Remember, the day of judgment is real, and Allah will judge us based on the deeds that we have done. So we have to do more and more and more good deeds, because if we do good deeds, Allah will give us Jannah. But if we do bad deeds or treat other people badly and say bad words to them, then Allah will not reward us. Instead, Allah will be very angry, and He will punish us for all of those bad things that we did. So we have to always remember to seek Allah's forgiveness. And when someone says bad things or tries to force us to believe what they believe, we say to them, we are free from what they are saying. We don't believe what they believe. We fear Allah, and we trust Him to help us in everything that we do. Allah will help you because Allah is always watching over you. So we don't have to resort to doing bad things, because Allah will help us and Allah will reward us. So make sure that you always remember to trust Allah. And if you are feeling sad or something's really difficult for you, then just ask Allah to forgive you and do good deeds. And inshallah, Allah will reward you, inshallah. However, this advice was not enough for the people of Ad. They didn't believe that they would go to hellfire. They didn't even believe that there was even a day of judgment. They laughed. They laughed and laughed in Prophet Hud's face. They said, there is no such thing as a day of judgment. You are lying. You are only trying to trick us so that you can take our money. And Prophet Hud tried to tell them, that is not the case. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave you your life and everything around you. Do you really think that money is worth equal to everything that Allah has given you? Do you think that you can just wipe everything away with this payment? Verily, the payment from Allah is worth 10 times, infinite times more than any payment you could ever give me. Prophet Hud had hope in the people of Ad. He hoped that they would listen to him, but they still refused day after day to accept his message. They said to him, you just want to be our leader. You just want money. If you want that, just be quiet. Tell us how much money you want, and we will give you whatever you ask for. But stop these lies and this preaching, Hud, because we are not going to believe in you. But Prophet Hud said to them, there is no payment that would be enough to make him stop the call of Islam and stop calling towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said that the reward from Allah is more and more beloved to him. It makes him more happy than the reward, any reward that they can give him. He said the only thing that he wants from them is that they are guided back to Islam and worshiping Allah. He didn't want anything else. And we are going to stop here with the story. And in our next class, we will continue to look at what Prophet Hud's people respond to him. Hence, things are about to get really serious. When Prophet Hud refused their reward, they started to get very, very angry. And they were eventually going to try to do really bad things to get Prophet Hud to stop believing in Allah. But what do we learn from today? We learned that you should always worship Allah and you have to ask Allah for forgiveness, right? What else did we learn today? We learned about the day of judgment and that you should be fair to everyone. Allah is going to judge you based on the good things that you do and the bad things that you do. And if you do good things, then Allah will reward you. And if you do bad things, then Allah will punish you, right? And if you do good things, your reward will be Jannah, inshallah. And Allah is fair to everybody. And if bad things are happening and you ask Allah, He will make things easier for you. So we have to always remember that even if we are having a hard and difficult time, that we should remember Allah and trust Allah. We put our trust in Allah and things will get much easier for us, inshallah. We also learned that we should not, I just lost my train of thought. That we should always, we should not respond to people when they are saying bad words to us. If people are being mean to us and they're saying bad words to us and shouting at us, we tell them we will not follow them. We don't want to, even if they try to force us, we don't do what they do just because they are mad and angry people. We will not follow them in such bad behavior. Instead, we ask Allah to make us different from that. And we put our trust in Him that He will protect us. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always watching over us. So anything that happens, Allah sees it. And Allah will not let bad things happen. Allah will always protect us in this life and in the hereafter, inshallah. Lastly, we have to remember that all of the things that we have, all of the nice things that we have, is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's Allah who sent down the rain, and it's Allah who created the trees and the fruits and flowers and plants and even all those amazing things that we create. Allah gave us the ability to create them. When we make money from something, it's because Allah helped us to do so. And if we like something or if we get something special, it's because Allah has given it to us. So we have to remember that our ibadah, our worship of Allah, is a one way of showing thanks for all the things that Allah has given us. We show thankfulness to Allah by worshiping Him and doing the things that He told us to do. All right. And that is how we're going to end today's story time, talking all about Prophet Hud and his appeal to his people, the people of Ad. I hope that you enjoyed today's story time, and I am so excited to wrap up this story tomorrow and next week, inshallah, where we will continue to look at all of the things that Prophet Hud's people responded, and eventually the big event that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's response to the people's disobedience. I can't wait to have you join us, and I hope that you will join us again and you will be there with us watching and responding in our next story time. As always, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and inshallah, I will see you all next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.